Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the one and only Josh Monden. Today I'll be bringing you a very powerful forex strategy, one that has a very high win rates of above 80 to 85%. So I hope you stay tuned. And if you haven't already, please like the video. It's the like button is just down there. So please just press it so that I can grow my channel and be able to make more content for you guys. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and let's get right into it. So this strategy is mainly employed on the hourly. You use it for your 1 hour candle. You can use it for 1 hour candles. You can use it for any higher time frame, but I prefer the hourly because it's a good balance between lower time frames and higher time frames. You wouldn't need to make any analysis on a larger time frame. You just have to use what the price and your RSI is telling you on the hourly chart. Okay, so for this strategy, you are combining the RSI, mainly the RSI divergence and trend line. So you'll be looking for points in which the market is showing some divergence on your RSI, and then you look and wait till at those points price breaks your trend line. When price breaks your trend line, you take a trade in the opposite direction of the larger trend. So this is, as you can see, this is a strategy that goes off of not necessarily the trend is your friend, but you're actually looking for points at which the trend isn't your friend anymore and you want to make money off of those things. So whatever you want to call them, pullbacks or retracements, those are the points at which you want to get into the market. So for those who don't know what the RSI tool is, the RSI tool is what I have down here. It's an indicator, which is an oscillator. So it helps you know momentum in the market. If market is moving in a certain direction, is it having a higher momentum or is it having a lower momentum than it previously did have? And for the RSI indicator, the most common form or the most common use of it is when it reaches its 70 mark, it shows you that the market is overbought. And when it reaches the 30 mark, it shows you the market is oversold. So when it gets to these levels, you can't expect a move, at least for price, in the opposite direction, a retracement or something like that. But for this strategy, you aren't using the 30 or 70 marks per se, but you'll be looking for divergence. Okay, so divergence is when you have price making a movement on the actual price chart. So maybe makes price moves higher, right? So you have a higher high, but when you check on your RSI, the RSI is making lower highs. So that's one way of seeing divergence. And you can also see divergence when price is making lower lows, but when you check on your RSI, it's making lower highs. No, it's making higher lows. So yeah, that's what you'll be looking for. And that's what divergence is. And what divergence helps you see is weakness in the market and and it also increases the chances of your likelihood of seeing a reversal. Okay, so let's say price has moved very quickly in one direction, it's going up, and when you begin to see divergence on your RSI, then it shows you that, hey, maybe price is going to reverse very soon. It doesn't necessarily always reverse, but you want to make sure that when it does reverse, you are making some profit, or at least if you are still in the trade in that direction, that trending direction, you probably want to close your profits. So let me try and demonstrate what this strategy is all about, and then we'll get into a few tests of it or a few demonstrations of it. I'm looking at making about 4 demonstrations so that the video won't be too long. So for those who can't really get what I'm saying, let's say price is making higher highs, right? You have this, price moves high, price moves higher. So this is what's happening on your price chart. This is your price, right? When you check on your RSI, at that point, you can see that price is making a high, price makes a high here, and all of a sudden, price gives you a lower high here, right? this is what you are expecting. So when you see something like this on your price chart, and you also see that there's a break in your trend line, so you draw a trend line like this, right? A trend line that's close enough to your to the leg or the move that had the divergence, right? If you draw a trend line, you see that there's a break of the trend line. That price comes and it breaks that trend line, right? Let me fully draw the trend line. Let me extend it. You see that price has broken the trend line here. Then you enter in for a move in the opposite direction. So you could invest this for a downtrend, but for an uptrend, when you see something like this, then you take a sell, and your sell is going to be at least your trade is going to be to the ratio 1:1. That means you are risking 1 R, right? So one, maybe let's say you are risking $10 to make $10, okay? But one thing about this strategy is that you don't really have to worry about the risk to reward, because it's usually in your favor. So if you take this trade 100 times, right, and for 80 times you win, let's say each time you raised $10, right? So after 80th, out of the 100 trades, right, you've made $800, and then you lose $200. So in total, you make $600. So it goes for you. It helps you, and you are going to definitely increase your account balance if you properly follow the rules. You have to make sure that you aren't targeting a full-on retracement and stuff like that, and also you are moving your stops when price gets into a certain range for you, and you're also waiting patiently for price to break your trend line. You aren't like forcing the trend lines or drawing them poorly. And as you see from the demonstrations, how I draw the trend lines, the best way to draw the trend lines is to have the trend line connecting the wicks or the bodies, the lowest lows, right? Sorry, the lowest highs. That's what you want your trend line to be connecting. You don't want to force the trend line, have it drawn through price and stuff like that. You don't want to do that. And you want to wait so your trend line is broken before that you have confirmation that you have to go in the opposite direction for a sell or a buy. So let me demonstrate this on 4 or 5 trades, and that'll be the end of the video. But before that, let me delete all my new drawings. Okay. So all eyes on the price chart. Let's see a demonstration of this. And you also have to have your eyes on the RSI and look to spot any divergence. Okay. So price is making a higher high. Price is moving. There's no divergence that I can see yet. Before we continue, I want to draw a trend line to help know at least the low. So if you're interested in trading with a trend and looking for points at where the price is going to bounce off this trend line, it could be helpful. Anyways, that's not what we are doing for this strategy. So we can see that there's some divergence before even this candle. Like you could see that there was divergence. Let me play back just a bit, right, to give you a full-on demonstration. You can see that there's some divergence here, because you can see that price on the price chart, this side, right, has made a higher high, but on your RSI, it's showing you that it's made a lower high, right? So at this point, you're expecting that there is some divergence, and you then draw your trend line, right? So you connect this low to this one, and you wait for a break in that trend line. So if there's a break here, then you take your sell 1:1. If there's no break, then we just watch price as it tracks higher. So you can have, if you don't want to necessarily wait long enough and just watch price, maybe you miss these kind of opportunities. I also have a different strategy that helps you get into entries with the trend. Okay, so if you don't know how to get into a trade and follow the trend or the correct entries to, then definitely subscribe and like this video. And if I do get 100 likes, I will help and make and release that video on the trend continuation strategy. So we are here, and then it breaks our trend line, right? At this point, price has broken our trend line, so you want to enter in for a sell, and your stop loss will go above the structure that had the divergence. Okay, so stop loss will be here, and then we also have our take profit, just about 1:1. You could make it 1:1.5 or something like that, but in all cases, you have to make sure that you are moving your stop loss when price goes in your favor and it's almost at your take profit. So we'll be doing that here. Price, so you see price is almost there for us. So we are moving our stop loss into profit just a bit. Let's see if we count. Okay, so we have our first win. Took a sell. Have a win. Let's see if price continues high. If there'll be further divergence. Let's see if we can even get some divergence for the downtrend. Yeah. If we can take a buy. I hope you can all see this. Or in fact, let me expand. Oh no, there was no divergence. No. Okay. My trend lines have to move. Waiting for some divergence. Break this trend line. Didn't get any market divergence for the break. It looks like we have a different trend again in the upward direction. So let's see if there'll be any divergence. And it looks like we have some divergence in. Maybe this may be premature, but I think we have some divergence. We have this high, right? We have this high, producing a high that's higher than this one, because this high has been cleared, but at least in your RSI, it's showing you that it's not giving you a higher high on your RSI. So I'm monitoring it and seeing if there will be a trade. Before that, let me draw this massive trend line. Okay, so there's further divergence, and let's see if have a trend line like this. No. So prices. Wait, I think you can see there's a bit. There's a better line. There's a better trend line, right? Can everyone see this? There's this trend line. I'm connecting the wicks, and let's see if there's a break. There's some divergence here, so there's a chance break. There is a break of a trend line, definitely. So at this point, 1:1, and this trade might not work. This trade might work, but you expect that at the end of it's a numbers game. So at the end of about 100 trades or something, you expect to win about 80% of the time. So it makes it worth it to take in a trade. And we have another win. So we had a sell, correct trend line, and we had a win. And price even went further down. You don't really care at this point. It looks like there might be a downtrend, but I don't know for sure. Oh, no anymore. Okay. No divergence here. Price is just shooting. I was thinking about this one, but there was no divergence, at least not on the RSI. So you want to at least finesse your trading strategy so that you can filter out times you are wrong. So use that. That's why we use confluence from the RSI and the trend lines. It looks like there'll be a new downtrend, but premature. No. Price didn't even like respect my prediction, which is how the market usually is. It just doesn't respect anyone. Okay, I think there's some divergence here because this high has been cleared, but you can see that it's a lower high here. So this is the larger trend. And I think this is the shorter term trend. And even on that one, you can, and even on this one, you can see that there's a bit of divergence because this high has been cleared, right? But it's a lower high here. So let's see if it breaks this trend line, we can get a sell. Okay, price has broken this trend line. And I don't really like this one because it looks like it could fail. Or at least we could get like stop hunted because the bodies of the candles is like very small. But anyways, I'm just going to put my stop loss just a bit above it so that you can at least be in the trade in case there's a stop hunt. And also your take profit is 1:1. Or it could be 1:1.5 if you want it to be like that. But in any case, okay, it's moving in that direction. Oh, it has. It has. So another win. Told you the win rate is very high on this. So win rate is very high on this. So it makes sense. It makes sense to keep trading this. Yes. Let me extend this trend line so I can see this. We are having some divergence here. As far as I can see, you can see price is making higher highs, right? But it's making lower highs here. It's kind of worrying. And it's already broken our trend line. Okay. And I think we even missed the entry. So we would have entered at this point, right? The take profit would have been you said the stop loss first. Would have been this much, right? So then your take profit will be around here. If everyone can probably see what I'm trying to illustrate. And price would have come for the take profit. Okay. So for those who want us to like see it live, right? This is how it will be demonstrating. So at this point, you can see that there's some divergence, right? So you're waiting for price to break your trend line. And this is the main trend line. You could also have this trend line if you wanted, right? You can see there was a trend here. There's this trend line, but I prefer the main one, right? At least for this scenario. So you have your main trend line. That's what price breaks it. So maybe at this point you are anticipating what a break in your trend line. So you put your sell stop here, right? Put your sell stop here at the point where it will break your trend line. And then you put your stop loss, very important, above the structure. And then you put your take profit to just where you have to put it. The simulation part, you can see price came and spiked down. Exactly. So price comes, takes you out, and it goes in your direction. Let's even say price like missed where you put your take profit, right? It's still like for 2 out of 3 trades you've won. Or how many have we had? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess then this is the end of the video because we've had 4 trades, and it could even be 30 minutes into the recording. But if you want a longer backtest to see how this is executed, then definitely like this video and subscribe for more content. And Let me know your thoughts. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video. But until then, have a good trading week. Happy trading, and I'll see you guys later.